Welcome to another episode. Happy Monday. Hope y'all are rolling good and enjoying yourselves. All right. Hope y'all can hear me clearly. Vitamins aren't that important, are they? I mean, pretty much everybody that I know doesn't take them. So clearly they can't be that important, right? I mean, everybody that I know except for myself, because I take vitamins religiously. But we're going to talk about it today. We're going to dive into the details, the specifics of vitamins and micronutrients, how important they are, how they affect you, if they're even important, what you need to focus on, the vitamins you need to focus on, and everything in between there. All right. So without actually, we're gonna waste a couple of seconds. I want you guys and girls to let me know how your day is going when you join. Okay, I'm gonna get the things rolling over here, get everything nice and set up for the podcast. But let me know how your day is going. If you had a good Monday, let me know. If you had a shitty Monday, let me know. I'm here for it. Lizzie, what's good? What's up? What's up? Karen, I appreciate you. What's up? All right. So I'm just setting up the podcast over here. When you do join, let me know how your day is going so that we can actually talk and so I can see that you guys and girls are here to listen and to learn, not just to like sit here. You know what I'm saying? We don't want any sitting ducks today. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right. So if you don't know how this works, I'm going to explain this real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into the podcast, and then once I dive into the podcast, once that's done recording, I'm going to answer some questions. I'm going to get back to the comments that you guys and girls leave on TikTok, Insta, Facebook, and YouTube, and then we're going to move forward from there. I'm going to help you out. If you want to understand something that you're lost on or that you're confused about. Okay, so ooh, that's an alarm. You just have to cancel that real quick. All right, let's get it rolling, people. Again, I'm gonna start off the podcast, and you can drop questions, comments any point in time throughout the video. At the end, I am going to read them. Okay, so without wasting any time, we're gonna dive into the podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, people, welcome to another episode of the Natural Nomad podcast. This is the number one podcast for anyone on this planet, country, or nation who wants to make an amazing mental and physical natural transformation. Disclaimer: I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, not because I want to be mean, but because I fucking respect you. All right, so if you tune in and decide to give me the time out of your life that you know you'll never get back, the very least I can do for you is keep it a stack. Now that that's out the way, let's chat with IFBB Pro, Matt Butale. Let's get raw, nomads, natural nomads. What's up? What's good? Hope you guys and girls are enjoying yourself today. Hope you guys and girls have a decent Monday under your belt. I know Mondays are Mondays, but I'm just encouraging y'all. Okay, so let's dive into it. Let's talk about the point. Let's talk about the title. Today's episode is titled, "Are vitamins even that important? Like, do they even matter, really?" And I'm going to cut straight to the chase in this one. I'm going to really drive it home, give you guys and girls the actionable information that you need in order to apply, what I'm going to be talking about today when it comes to vitamins. Okay. So the very first thing I want you to understand is that technically, no, vitamins are not important if you don't have your foundation laid out. Okay. So, like, what do I mean by your foundation? Okay. So, if you're not training 3 to 5 times a week, doing cardio, and eating accordingly, like accordingly to your goals, if you want to transform, whether it's putting on muscle or burning fat, if you aren't, doing those things, if you do not have a foundation when it comes to your training and your nutrition, then ignore this entire podcast episode because it's not going to do much for you. It's not the supplements that's going to make you burn the fat. It's not the vitamins that are going to make you burn the fat. It's the foundation. Okay, once your foundation is in line, once you're training consistently, then everything else comes into play. Does that make sense, guys and girls? If that makes sense, just drop a fire emoji down below in the comments if you're registering this in your brain and if you get where I'm coming from. Okay, so the first thing I want to bring up is none of this fucking matters if you don't have a foundation. None of what I'm about to say right now is going to matter, or none of this you can actually use in actionable value if you do not have a foundation. Is that clear? Does that make sense? Okay, so that's just the first thing I wanted to get out of the way. All right, ignore this entire podcast if you do not have a foundation. The foundation is either eating in a caloric surplus or eating in a caloric deficit, or whatever it is that you need to do when it comes to nutrition to help you get to your goal. And then, in conjunction with that, for training, okay, are you following a training protocol that is helping you get towards your goal? Right? Whether it's building bigger arms, building bigger glutes, whatever it is, burning fat, if you do not have your foundation set up, none of this actually matters. Okay, so that's sort of trick in this, but it does matter, and it does matter in this way. Okay, we're going to talk about micronutrients. not just vitamins, because vitamins also do classify as micronutrients, in my opinion, but micronutrients in general. The small things that go on in the background in your body internally that most people don't pay attention to when they're trying to transform their body, whether it's building muscle or burning fat. Okay, so the two main micronutrients that I'm going to talk about today in this podcast, aside from the vitamins, are sodium and potassium. Sodium we know is salt; it comes from salt, right? And potassium we can get that from plenty of food sources: avocado, bananas, potatoes. The list goes on. Okay, so what's so important about sodium and potassium, and why am I bringing it up? Like, why am I talking about sodium and potassium in this vitamins chat? Well, because like vitamins, sodium and potassium are micronutrients. And micronutrients, think of it like a sundae. You got your sundae, the foundation is your training and your exercising routine. That's the ice cream. Okay. And then the cherry on the top is your vitamins and micronutrients. What completes everything and allows everything to piece together and work optimally is the micronutrients. So sodium and potassium, when you consume them, they have a reaction. They create a reaction which allows your body to create better neural signals, better muscle contraction, and overall give you a little bit more out of the gym. Okay. They're called electrolytes, sodium and potassium, respectively. They're both electrolytes. And it's the reason why when you do a lot of cardio or you work out really, really hard, and you start to feel really drained afterwards, like just moving your arms, moving your legs, it feels like 1,000 pounds. The reason why is mainly because you've depleted your electrolyte storages. So, how do we deplete our electrolyte storages? Simple. We sweat them out. That's why when you sweat, and don't quote me on this, but if you have an adequate amount of sodium in your system, your sweat should be salty. Or it's the reason why whenever you cry, the tears are salty because there's sodium in your body and there's sodium in the fluids in your body, right? And with that, if you're hydrating yourself, if you're drinking 3 to 4 liters of water a day, which I do recommend, you have to make sure that on the other end, your micronutrients are in check and that you're consuming an adequate amount of sodium and potassium. Again, that's going to vary for everybody depending on you know how much of an athlete you actually are. If you're constantly sweating, if you sweat a lot, then you're going to want to have a slightly higher sodium intake so that you can replenish the amount of sodium that you do deplete, that you sweat out when you do train. Does that make sense? Okay, so electrolytes are extremely important. And again, none of what I'm going to say here today on this episode is going to matter if you do not have a foundation. This can only be applied, you can only take action on what I'm saying here if you have a foundation when it comes to training and your nutrition. Okay, so understanding that micronutrients, sodium and potassium specifically, are extremely important for muscle function, nerve function, and allowing you to get a little bit more out of the gym. Of course, your pump as well. The sodium is responsible for that. We can now move into vitamins and talk a little bit about vitamins, and how important they actually are when you do have a foundation. Okay, so vitamins specifically, like vitamins themselves, they have their own functions and they benefit you in several different ways. As I said, with the analogy of the sundae and the cherry on the top, once your foundation is laid, you better be taking micronutrients and vitamins to get the extra bit to make sure that your body's actually performing as optimally as possible. Okay, so vitamin D3, for example, vitamin D is going to help you with your not okay. Generally, mentally speaking, it's going to help you feel a little bit better because we do get vitamin D from the sun. And I don't know about you guys and girls, but when I sit in the sun or when I see the sun or when the sun is blazing, I find it a little bit easier to maintain my intensity or consistency at least, with training and just other things in my life, simply because it makes you feel good, right? Which is why they also sell those artificial sun lamps that give you vitamin D through the LED lamp that's there. Vitamin D is amazing for you. It has so many other benefits. Um, there are other vitamins down the line too that can assist you with thyroid function, digestion, metabolism assistance, so on and so forth. So again, understanding that you do have a foundation laid out, micronutrients and vitamins are going to help you so goddamn much when it comes to making sure that your body is doing the maximum amount of work that it can essentially do. And I'm not saying like you going to the gym to do the work. I'm saying like you've done the work in the gym. You've eaten the foods that you need to eat, and you're consistent with that. And now you're allowing your micronutrients and your vitamins to make the most out of what you're already doing in your foundation. Does that make sense? Okay. Vitamins, again, going off to like say omegas, right? That they help so much with brain function, so much with brain function, and they're really, really good for your cartilage and your joints. Okay. Again, none of this actually matters unless you have a foundation that you're like consistent with. Otherwise, if you just decide to take these vitamins, these micronutrients, and all that stuff, it's not really gonna do much for you. Nothing at all, if anything. All right. But the number one thing I would actually recommend, instead of just like, oh well, I'm not feeling too good today, let me just take some vitamin D, or I don't know, maybe I feel a little bit cloudy in the mind, so I'm gonna take some omega 3s. The one thing I'd actually recommend doing, guys and girls, is going to your doctor, get a checkup, and in your checkup, request blood work. And when your blood work does come back, your doctor will be able to essentially notify you and let you know, hey, what's too high, what's too low when it comes to your cholesterol, your micronutrients, your vitamins, what's high, what's low, what you need, and what you don't need. And based off of what your doctor can actually, give you on your report from your blood work, you'll be able to go to the supplement shop and then buy the supplements that you actually need and supplement with those accordingly. Again, you don't need every single supplement. You don't need every single vitamin or all these other things to make your body perform optimally. You only need what your body is lacking. You only need what your body is deficient in. Okay, and it varies for everybody. Some people are iron deficient, so when they get their blood work, they're going to see that they're iron deficient, and then they're going to increase the amount of iron that they're um, able to consume from their nutrition, or they can supplement it with iron supplements, right? Just as you can get vitamins, right, to supplement for vitamin B if you're low on vitamin B, right? So again, vitamins are super important. They're super crucial to making sure that your body performs optimally and aids your efforts of already training and sticking to a proper nutrition. Okay, so this is something that I'd actually recommend to people that have been consistent for, we'll say, at least 2 months, 2 to 3 months, and they're seeing progress consistently, and they're wondering how to get a little bit more out of that without doing more. Essentially, micronutrients and vitamins are your way to go. They're going to make you feel better, and if you feel better, you might be able to push yourself a little bit harder, and with that, you can get a tiny bit more results. And over time, that's going to compound into an expedited, fast tracked in a sense journey when it comes to your body's transformation, and you'll feel better, think better, and look better too. Collagen is another one of the micronutrients that I consider that does help with skin. Biotin as well, skin, hair, and nails, right? Just as vitamin C, or sorry, just as calcium would, and just as vitamin C would help your immune system a little bit if you did supplement with it, right? Which is, we get vitamin C from citrus fruits, specifically oranges and lemons and things of that sort. Which is why you probably had a hot lemon tea whenever you were sick growing up, if your mother fixed that for you or your grandmother fixed it up for you. Again, the vitamins in that aid your body in fighting off what's already there. Okay, vitamins are super important. They're super crucial. I recommend them to everybody that has a foundation, though. If you don't have a foundation, stick to getting consistent. Learn that with your nutrition, with your training. If you have any trouble with that, there's so many resources online that you can like literally Google up and learn how to build your own training protocol or follow a training protocol, or learn how to make what's best for you when it comes to a nutrition protocol. But of course, the application, the accountability of that, the consistency of that needs to be there. That's a part of the foundation, consistency. Okay, and if you're able to be consistent, if you're able to see results over a period of time, then this episode is something that you need to actually implement and take action on. Go to the doctor, get your blood work checked out, and see what vitamins you may be deficient in, and supplement with those accordingly. And just watch how your body is going to be optimizing, or it's going to be optimizing your energy levels, and how easy it's going to feel just to get by a day, simply because everything inside is going on correctly. All right. And then, of course, in conjunction with that, making sure that you're hydrated and that you've got your electrolytes in balance, your electrolytes in check, sodium and potassium mainly. For myself, it sounds nasty, but whenever I do cardio, I sweat a lot. So sometimes the sweat can go down to my mouth, or even if it misses it, it's nasty. Sometimes I taste my sweat. And I do that not because I'm a fucking disgusting piece of shit. I do that because when I can taste that the sweat that I'm sweating out is bland and there's no sodium in it, I know right after that I'm gonna like get a couple tablespoons of salt and literally just put it down the hatch. Again, that's on the extreme side because I do sweat a lot. I am a professional athlete, but if you're not sweating that hard, um, the sodium that you're intaking from your diet should be enough. And if you notice that it's a little bit harder for you to work out and you want to get a little bit of an edge and you're consistent with it, then I recommend slightly salting all of your meals with pink Himalayan sea salt, just slightly, nothing measured really, just slightly measure it. And then you'll notice that in due time, your pumps are going to get better. You're going to feel a little bit more energetic in the gym, have a tiny bit more endurance, but that's going to take you a long way, especially when it comes to recovery and feeling alive after your workout. Right? Gatorade, for example, it's electrolytes, except it has a lot of sugar in it. But Gatorade essentially is electrolytes, which is why when you drink Gatorade, you feel hydrated because of the sodium and potassium. It allows your body to absorb the water, right? So you can do that manually. You can take iodine drops or iodine supplements. I do that as well. Again, I recommend getting checked out from your doctor first, get your blood work done, see what you need, and then buy what you need. Because again, if vitamins do get expensive, you don't want to be, pissing away all your money on every single vitamin, and you don't need them all right? So go get your vitamins, go get yourself checked out, see what you need, see what you're deficient in, and then move forward from there. Again, adding to your foundation, adding that cherry to the sundae that we talked about very briefly in this podcast episode. All right. So I hope you got actionable value. If you're consistent with your training, consistent with your nutrition, this is something that you can take to heart and actually apply this week. Go book that doctor's appointment, get your blood work, understand how your body's moving or operating on the internal level, and then supplement accordingly. Don't just go out and buy random vitamins because you saw somebody say vitamin D is good for you. Okay. Maybe you're not vitamin D deficient. Maybe it could be something else. All right. So, thank you so much for your time and attention today. This is the number one podcast on this planet, country, or nation for anyone who wants to make an amazing mental and physical natural transformation. All right. Don't forget to implement at least one thing from this podcast. Remember, information without implementation is just fucking noise. All right. So if you laugh, cried, got any value, motivation, or inspiration from this podcast, share it out to one friend who you know will enjoy it too. Shameless plug, subscribe to my YouTube channel, MATT space BUTALE, Mabutale, to see how I live my life outside of social media. Also, if you want to lose 25 pounds or transform your body in any way and become a part of the Natural Nomad Academy, feel free to DM me and I'll see if you'll be a good fit. All right. It's been nice chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. Natural IFBB Pro Matt signing out. Boom. All right. So the podcast is recorded. I'm going to go read some of the comments as I promised you guys at the start. Got about 608 likes over here on TikTok. Dope. I appreciate the support, people. You know it's good. I'm going to start over here on TikTok, then move through Instagram, and then get to YouTube. And then we should be done, wrapped up for today. Let's see what we have here. Your friend. Yeah, no, I'm not reading that. That's silly. This dude over here says, "Are you natural?" Yes, I'm a natural athlete. Let's see here. Can you wish my buddy happy birthday? He lives, he feels really sad and awesome and awful. His user is no, I'm not reading that. There's so many childish and mature people on this app. I actually might just stop reading comments on this app. Janice, what's up? I appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, TikTok is just silly, honestly. I'm not gonna read that. All right, all right, all right. Let's go. Courtney, what's good? Thank you. Jesse, what's up? Thanks for everybody that joined, by the way. I know they're not all here right now, but everybody that joined, I appreciate it. Logan, what's good? Yeah, yeah, you know what's good, Karen. You know what's good. Kuro, what's up? Daniel is here. He tuned out. Bianca, what's up? Diljit, thank you. Exactly, yeah. Bianca says, nice subject today, Matt. Not everyone truly understands the value of the small things, that keep you going, like vitamins and minerals. Absolutely. Right. As I said, though, at the beginning, I almost don't expect people to understand or value this because most people, generally speaking, aren't consistent with their foundation, the foundation being nutrition and training. And if they're not, then they shouldn't actually pay attention to this episode because this is something for more of the, I wouldn't even say intermediate. I could still say beginner, but anyone that's consistent with their training and their nutrition, that's been seeing results for a couple of months and wants to get more results, by just making sure their body is performing optimally instead of having to do a little bit more work, then this is a box they can definitely check to make sure that they're doing everything right, you know. But for the people that don't have the foundation, this would be really much of an episode for them because there's nothing they can actually take action on because they're already not sticking to their foundation, and the foundation gets 90% of the work done. All right. You're welcome, Karen. You're so welcome. Mike, what's good? Bianca says, hope you're having a great day, Matt. Yeah, super productive in my zone today. It's one of those Mondays where it's like, damn, I wish the sun was out, but at the same time, it's like, I don't really care. Like I'm actually quite comfortable today in my sweater, just warm and all that stuff, just chilling, you know. Bianca says, hey, Matt, always dropping gems. I appreciate you, Bianca. Thank you for always being my number one supporter on YouTube. You know what's up. All right, people. And Bianca, I hope you had an amazing day today. All right, people, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to roll out. We're going to be back again tomorrow with another live stream subject as usual. We're going to talk about nutrition, health, mental health, all that stuff. You feel me? All right. So thank you for showing up and giving me the love and the support and the time out of your day that you know you'll never get back. IFBB Pro Matt signing out. Cheers, people. We out.